In this video, we're going to be looking at the energies that have come in with the lunar eclipse. Depending on where you are in the world, you would have had it last night or you're going to have it tonight watching this video. And this is not an energy check-in. I've already done one of those. This is a personal reflection of what's actually been happening with me and how the energies have been working with me. And I'm sharing them because Spirit constantly talks with us, but are we listening? So let's jump into it. Hi and welcome to Oak Law Door. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. For those that are returning subscribers, thank you. And as I said, Spirit's constantly talking to us, but are we listening? And I was inspired to do this video because I'm a true believer that our reflections always help. They help us immediately, but they help those that we share it with. It may not resonate with you, it may not be your story, but it certainly helps you to be alert to what's around you and maybe pick up on some of the more subtle signs that you wouldn't normally listen to. And I say this because what happened last week, I ended up on Thursday, I ended up having two conversations, beautiful conversations, very healing conversations, and they weren't a healing session, they weren't a therapy session, they were just normal conversations, starting to build relationships with new people. And in that, I was talking about a few of the things that I've done in my life and some of the things that have happened. And in both incidences, energies came in from old situations that I've done a lot of healing work on, and I could feel the emotions rise in me. And I was really quite taken aback. This eclipse, and we knew this was coming, and I don't know why I was taken aback, because I did do a video, I think it was last week or the week before, when I talked about this. These energies are coming back because the eclipse is about the final closure. And it was beautiful because I am going to say it because I was also reminded of it, and I have said it on here many times. Our lives are a learning, healing journey. It's continuous. And it was interesting because I was so taken aback about the emotions that came up during the conversation. I was reminded that healing is a lifetime, and I've always been one that have said that. It was good to be reminded because I was sat there going, oh, God, I thought I'd healed that, because it really caught me off guard. But when I was able to come away, when I was able to get into my personal space and I was able to do my reflection and connect with my team and meditate on it, there was a realization that it's just about really surrendering to what's coming up, reminding me that there has been a lot that's gone on in the past, and instead of working through it, healing, there also needs to be a space for honoring those situations. And I've said this before with the grieving. Because I am a healer, because I assist and guide people through this process, I'm very good at making sure others take all the steps, but with myself, I can be a little bit neglectful of giving myself that space to grieve. And that was what Spirit was telling me. And it was interesting because I felt inspired, because I thought, why that day? Why that day? And I looked it up, and I've got it here on the computer. I'll read it to you now. When this occurred, it was the waxing crescent moon. Now, I don't do a huge amount of moonology. For those that follow me, you know that I kind of tune into the new moons and the full moons, along with a little bit of the astrology. I'm not an astrologer, but I do kind of find out, and okay, what does that planet bring into our, and what house is that? But it was interesting because the waxing crescent moon, because I'm thinking why, and I knew that we had the eclipse coming up, so I wanted to have a little look as to why it came up that day. And the waxing crescent is about growth and determination. I am reading. That's why I'm not looking at the camera. So, okay, I've got my screen here. I don't know it. I am reading it. Okay, so we've got growth and determination. We've got rebuilding. What I didn't know was that we also have heightened senses during that time. And lastly, it's about planning. So it's almost like a care plan. It's that self-care plan. If we tune ourselves, if we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, whether that's with ourselves or whether that's in the company of another, when emotions like that do come up, then to honor them in a way that feels comfortable to us at the time, but then when we're on our own, be reflective, learn the bigger lessons, listen to what Spirit is trying to tell us. And in this instance, Spirit was trying to tell me that my senses were heightened over that particular subject because it's time to fully release it. It's time to let it go. And that's beautiful. That is beautiful, knowing now what is needed of me mentally, emotionally, as we come up to Tuesday's full moon eclipse, is to be able to let that go. And of course, I won't know whether I've done that until way into the future, when a similar conversation comes up again. Am I going to become emotional again, or am I just going to be able to go da-dum, 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 like I'm reading from a book, like I'm viewing a movie rather than being in the scene? That's a good way of how, as a barometer as to where we're at. And where we're at is exactly where we're supposed to be. That's the first thing to remember. And if you're a healer, I'm saying that because we are dreadful at remembering that for ourselves. We say it day in, day out. We support others day in, day out. But we forget to apply it to ourselves. This is a great opportunity to apply it for yourself, to give yourself that deeper nurturing. Because if you're a healer, then you will know the importance of self-love, of self-worth, of self-value. You would have been on that journey, and even if you've not got it all perfectly sussed, you're working towards it. But giving ourselves the time to grieve what has occurred so that we can release it is very important. And I'm not alone, and this is why I'm doing the video, because I'm very much aware that the work that I've done when I've been healing with other people and a good few of them have been very talented healers themselves. I'm always saying to them, yeah, but you have to give yourself the time to grieve. And it's lovely that Spirit has brought that to my table to remind me. And it was lovely that when I was vulnerable on Thursday, that the person I was vulnerable with the second time said, healing is lifelong. It's not a race. It's not a race. It's about doing what you feel able to do, what you feel comfortable to do, what feels right to do at the time, and then keep revisiting it. And I've said this many, many times before. I've said that, you know, time is not linear, it's a spiral, and it keeps coming back. And in this case, it's come back to me so that I could hopefully put it to bed forever. And that's a blessing, because it is in my past. It is just a story. It's not who I am. It's who I was. And it's heavy baggage, and I don't need to be carrying it any longer. Have a think about what Spirit has been trying to tell you for these past 5 days. Just take 10 minutes and sit quietly, whether that's in your meditation room, whether that's just being alone with your thoughts out for a walk in nature, however you connect with the divine, however you connect with your team, however you connect with yourself, and just reflect on what's been coming back onto your radar. What situations has the cosmos put you in the last 5 days that has brought old stuff, old pains, old wounds, old situations back into the mix, albeit in a very different way, but bringing it back. So it's reminded you. So situations that have been completely different, but have reminded you of situations of the past. Incidences of the past. And how do you feel about that? How does your body feel? How do you feel about that emotionally? What is your mind doing? So psychologically, are you spinning plates at 1,000,000 miles an hour? How does your body feel physically? Is it feeling heavy? Is it feeling tired? Take a note of that. That will indicate how much and what still needs healing. And use the energies of this eclipse, of this full moon, because the full moon is all about releasing. It's just letting go. Use that and make a plan to let it go. And if you can't let go of all of it, that's absolutely fine. Just let go of what feels right and comfortable to you. Remember, this is your journey. Nobody can tell you what is right or wrong. You know, you innately know. Trust yourselves, but also gift yourselves this opportunity, because we are in an 8 year. We are in that year of abundance, and that abundance is truly and utterly connecting to ourselves, becoming the truest version of ourselves, so that we can make changes for ourselves, for our families, for our community, for humanity. And we do that through example. We do that through nurturing ourselves, loving ourselves, being that better version of ourselves, the best version. And remember, that best version is at that moment. None of us are perfect. And we're not meant to be. None of us have all the answers. And we're not meant to. It's about offering ourselves that total, unconditional love for every aspect of who we are, even the ishy bits. And you can love them all the same. You might take the mick out of them, but they exist and they're part of you, and you just love them because they make up who you are. Those are the bits that make you unique. And so sit with that today or tomorrow. We've got those windows of energies either side of the actual event. Just sit with it, be reflective, and just allow it to come forward naturally. Don't force it. As I said, this was gifted to me, and I believe most of us will be gifted that opportunity, and that's why the video is entitled Spirits Talking, Are We Listening? Because the divine, the cosmos, wants us to do this work so that we can help others in a much more authentic way. So I'm going to leave it there. If you've liked the video, hit that like button. If you've not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified when the new video goes up. If you have a friend that you think would benefit from viewing this, then by all means please share it, and I shall see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.